Okay, so today's pepper review is going to be on the Golden Nugget Pepper. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Golden Nugget Pepper as I try to squeeze in here because my plants are really overgrown. So here's the plant. It is a variegated type of plant. This is one of the variegated variety, and they usually have that unique feature to the leaf that is very crinkly and very ununiform, and that's a natural formation of the leaf. The leaf will look very much like that. Try to get you in focus. See how it's like ununiform, and yet there's like patches of color in it. And this one's not a heavily variegated variety. Some parts of it seem to be variegated really heavily, but most of it seems to be like just slightly patchy. But that it's unpredictable how variegated your plant is going to look from plant to plant. I've had fish peppers, that's another variegated variety, that one plant was virtually one leaf on a whole plant had a little bit of white in it, and that was it. Other plants were so variegated they almost looked like this. So it really depends on from plant to plant and species to species. So this one seems to be, you know, not heavily variegated, but it seems to have, you know, some variegation in it. Now, with that said, let's go over the leaf part again. It seems to be like a narrow, short, variegated leaf type shape. It's not any kind of broadleaf or anything. This leaf type is really unique to its own variety of leaf, trying to describe the leaf. It's very unique to it because it really, there's no other way to describe this except that it's variegated. That's really the only way you can describe it. Unfortunately, there's no more flowers on this plant, so I can't show you the flower. But there is a slight purpling at the nodes, as you can see. And the stem is actually smooth, but with a little bit of raspiness to it, very slightly. And you can see there's peppers on this plant, and they tend to get a little like purplish for a while. They turn like purple color, if I remember, and then they go from that darker purple color like that to a golden color like you see there. And we're going to pick that one right now and do a taste test on it. So there's really not much else to say about it. I don't have, like I say, any flowers available. Looks like I might get a few more peppers out of it, hopefully, by the end of the year. These peppers really take a long time to ripen. You really need about a month and a half ahead of seeing it in this stage before you see it golden. That pepper's been on there right there. That one's been on there for like ever. So you can pretty much forget about getting peppers off of this late season if you can't, you know, get them earlier in the season. Late season, you either bring the plant in or you forget it, you know. Pick them early and hopefully they'll ripen indoors. But let's pick this one off, not break the whole plant, and let's take a better look at this. I love growing these variegated plants. They're very ornamental in color and everything. It's very interesting to grow these variegated peppers. I really want to get into more of the different species of these variegated peppers. And I actually got quite a few growing this year. I've got this one. I've got the shoe pepper. I have the tricolor variegata. I also have fish peppers growing. And I think I got like one or two other ones. I just never had a chance to get over to them. But I'll get to them. But anyway, here's a closer look. Now, it's getting dark, so my focus really, it's not real dark, but as soon as the light starts going down, my focus doesn't want to work. So, giving you a good look at it, so you get the right light on this. And this is what it looks like. It's just a small little pod, diamond shaped. It almost looks like the Roxy type peppers, which is a different species of pepper altogether. It's not a annum or a Chianti or anything like that. It's a different type of species. So I think it's in a pubescens, or it's something different even than that. But I don't know what this one is offhand. This could be a pubescens. I'll have to put that in the description and title so you know exactly what kind of pepper this is. But isn't that a beautiful little golden nugget, little pepper thingy going on here? And so, alright, so let's go do a taste test. Okay, so we got a new pepper we're going to do here. It's a new one for 2017. I'd never grown this one before. It's probably an ornamental, but it does make these little pods, and they're purple at first, and then they turn to this nice golden color. At first, when I was growing this, I'm like, why are they calling it a golden nugget? It's coming out purple, dark, almost black. So now that I let it fully ripen, you can see that it's a golden nugget pepper. So let me chew off the end of this thing, or I want to try to save seeds. I don't know if those other peppers are going to ripen before the end of the year. It looks like we may get a frost coming soon. I mean, it's the end of September now, so frost will be here soon. I don't think those peppers are going to make it. But let me try to bite the end of this, and we'll go from there. It's not very hot. It did have a little bit of a soap flavor, but it almost wanted to make me hiccup a little bit. Just something with this pepper that made me want to hiccup a little. Again, it's not scorching hot, but this is weird. This pepper is really strange. I'm salivating. The strange thing about this pepper is it's burning the underneath of my tongue. It's not even burning the top of the tongue. That is really bizarre. I've never had a pepper burn the bottom of the tongue. It's like on the tip and underneath the tongue. That is really strange. Literally burning the heat, and it's not a striking heat. It's warm though. A little bit of heat around the back of the throat. Very little. When I went to bite this pod off, I just wanted to nibble on the end of it. The whole thing broke in half in like 3 different pieces, and the seeds started falling out. I had to pause the camera for a minute, put it down, take the flesh of it off, get the seeds out. Like I say, I don't know if I'm going to get seeds. Taste is very nice. No, it's not fruity like habanero. It had a nice, rich, like cayenne almost flavor to it. Nice rich flavor. Had a little soapiness to it, but that's probably the capsaicin I'm tasting. It's not really hot. It burned the bottom of the tongue. Heat is like on the sides of the tongue now. Very little across the top of the tongue. Bottom of the tongue is still burning. Heat-wise, as far as temperature on this thing, as far as the Scovilles, I don't know. I'm going to say probably between 800 and 1,000. And potentially even hotter if you get the right one. Might be as hot as 1,200. In other words, it's probably not the right Scoville I'm giving you for that pepper. But what I'm trying to say is the heat is low. It's low enough for me to not, you don't see me like, you know, sweating and not, it's not like that at all. It's a low heat pepper. But the heat really hit the bottom of the tongue. That was absolutely bizarre. It's still on the bottom of my tongue. I have no idea why it's doing that. If it is hot hitting the top of the tongue, it's very light, and I almost don't notice it because the bottom is scorched. Interesting pepper. The taste, I really liked the taste on it. It was very nice. It had a nice cayenne, rich flavor. It tastes really good if you ground it up and put it in ground beef or something like that. It would taste good in that. As far as cooking with it, I don't know. You just got to be creative with it. You throw it in salads. You could pickle these probably pretty nicely. If you do stir fries, you could probably just take them off this, break them off the cap. Just throw them right in your stir fry. It does have seeds in it, so there's not a lot of flesh on it. So there's not a whole lot of cooking you can probably do with it. Pickling, I think, would be the best thing for them. Or snacking on them, just eating them raw. They're very nice flavor to them. Yeah, definitely give this pepper a go if you're looking to get into variegated type of pepper plants. This is a nice one to grow. It's a little different, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that's your review for the Golden Nugget Pepper, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.